Free Couples Therapists.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, Anna. Hi,
Hi.
Catherine.
Hi. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Anna Kisting. I own a group practice called Cozy Chair Counseling in St. Louis, Missouri. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Catherine Barton, and I own Uplift and Connect Counseling in St. Louis, Missouri.
And I'm Andrew Frager, and I own St. Louis Family Counseling in St. Louis and also Blue House Therapy in Massachusetts, which is where I am now.
Yay. Awesome. Well, we're so pumped to get to join you guys or get to talk to you guys today. So I wanted to share a little bit about what I'm seeing a lot in my sessions with my couples. So I don't know about you guys, but I see a lot of times where couples come to me and they're so disconnected. They've got busy lives, right? They're working, they've got kids, they've got things going on. And by the end of the day, they're so exhausted. They just end up like on the couch, on their phone, totally disconnected, just doing their own thing, right? And then they go to bed. And it's amazing because I hear couples say, I'm with my partner. Like, we will do our thing with parenting, we'll do what we need to do, we'll get dinner on the table, we'll do all the things. But I don't think I actually really made eye contact with my partner today. So they're just feeling really disconnected. Like, why do I feel so disconnected from my partner? I see them every day. What's going on here? And when I hear that, I think a lot about, well, how often are they actually making an intentional effort to try to connect with their person? And when I think about that, we usually will define that. The Gottmans have a way of defining that, and that's called a bid for connection. And so that's a really important thing to think about when you think about how connected you're feeling with your partner. Thinking about how frequently are you intentionally reaching out to them to try to connect, right? And then how are we responding when our partners bid for our attention? So I think it's important for us today to talk a little bit about what might a bid look like, because I think a lot of times they get ignored, unfortunately.
Ignored or missed, like not even see, like
missed.
just like I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Or when we have our partner we see it and we recognize they're trying to connect. Maybe we're too busy, or, oh, I'm reading my article on my phone right now, or I'm responding to an email. That's me. I'm responding to an email right now. Okay, there are messages that get communicated when that happens that lead to feeling disconnected and disappointed. So I'm
And you
curious,
mentioned Gottman, right? So John Gottman, he's done probably the most research of over 40 years on couples, right?
And his wife Julie, don't forget Julie.
And Julie, yeah. She's a part of it too. And their research shows that couples that are still together after 6 years, their bids for connection, 86% of the time they get each other's bids for connection. Those couples after 6 years that are divorced only get it 33% of the time. So you can get it a third of the time and still your relationship is suffering.
Right.
Exactly.
That research, right? And so, and I think what you're saying too, like the bids are small things. So maybe we can define what a bid is.
Yeah, great idea.
Right?
Well, I feel like I talk about this a lot too, just in my sessions, and just talking about what a bid is, right? It can be the smallest thing. It can be, oh, it looks like it's going to rain today, right? Like wanting to have a conversation with your partner, right? That can be a bid for connection. And it can even be things that you don't necessarily realize, even maybe for yourself, that it's a bid for connection. But when your partner doesn't join in, or when your partner is on their phone looking at stuff and they don't say, oh yeah, I see some clouds, right? Then you feel that, right? You feel the lack of connection, right? So I do talk about to my clients a lot about, are there times where you're kind of reaching for your partner or trying to connect with your partner and it doesn't go well, right? And are there times where you can think about times that maybe your partner has reached for you and you kind of missed it, or you didn't notice, or you ignored it, or you were too busy?
It's like what I'm hearing you say. It's like it's an attempt for like attention, affection, affirmation, that kind of thing. They're trying, and they're small, right? Like you were saying, oh, isn't that a pretty sunset?
Right.
And just getting a like, oh yeah, then that's a little shared moment. It doesn't feel like maybe it's a lot, but it's a small building block to this feeling of being connected. The opposite of which is not having that, is like, so we're not building that connection. And then over time, we're like, why are we just missing each other? Because we're not
Yeah.
doing these little things regularly.
I think it
And-
also serves as like a reminder, like, is my partner there?
Yeah.
Right? In this small way, is my partner there? And, you know, and we can translate that to if something bigger were to come up, will my partner be there? Right? Like just kind of that overall feeling within the relationship, I think.
Mhm. I think that that's exactly right. And I'm wondering if you notice in the clients you work with, how aware are they even able to really put words to this, right? Because I think I hear a lot of times clients will say, I'm feeling disconnected all the time. We need better communication and I'm feeling disconnected. And they don't really even realize, oh, this is why. This right here, 15 times a day, when I make a comment about this, or when I lean in for a hug and it gets missed, or when I try to share a funny YouTube video, right?
Sure.
And they're not into it. All those little things add up over time that lend to this feeling of isolation or disconnection. And do you guys ever notice, are your clients able to really articulate that? Are they coming to the table saying, and this is why I'm feeling so disconnected because of all these little things?
No, I think because they're little, they're easily missed, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's not even like, is that even a thing? Because it could be as small as a smile or a wink, right?
Yeah.
And responding to that smile, and you don't even realize it. Like you smile and then you get nothing. Maybe you think about it, maybe you don't, but in your body, I think you feel like just a little bit, and then you probably forget about it and go on, but your body hasn't forgotten about it.
A
Yeah, I think
100%.
that's true.
And then the really crummy side effect of that is then that makes us less likely to keep trying to make a bid for our
Right.
partner,
Yeah.
to turn towards our partner. Like, well, I cracked that joke yesterday and they didn't laugh. They didn't even notice me. So why am I going to try again?
Right.
They're
I
not
think
interested.
what I've noticed in session is when we talk about it, like when I bring it up in that way, it clicks a little bit. You know, it's like, oh, I never thought about it in that way. And then they can, I think, once they have an idea of what that is, they can kind of look back and they can connect with it in the sense of, oh, I have felt that, or I have noticed that, you know. And so then when they
Exactly.
leave, it is something they can pay attention to, which I think is can be empowering of like, oh, this is a small thing we can notice. So I think that's, you know, that's a positive piece of talking about it and bringing it up in session.
And that leads me to my last question for you
Oh.
both. What is something that people can do, that couples can do, to be more aware? And I think you're getting right to that, Catherine. Like if they're feeling like just to notice this sort of dynamic, if they're feeling disconnected, what are some things they can do, either to bid or what are your thoughts about that?
I think just what, like, yeah, just being aware of it. And then if you notice, like being tuned into yourself, like if you smile and you just get ignored, then you feel it. And then having the ability to say, hey, I think we just missed an opportunity to connect. I just smiled and I felt like there was nothing. Maybe you saw it, maybe it didn't register, but I just want to let you know when I smiled and then you didn't respond, I felt a little alone. And then hopefully your partner can then say, oh, I don't want you to feel that way, and then smile back and repair it, and then we're good.
Yeah, I
And
think
I think
that's great. Yeah.
And I think too, being mindful when our partner leans over and wants to share a story with us or wants to tell us about their day, right? Maybe we can actually make eye contact, put the phone down
Mhm.
and make eye contact. I work with so many couples in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're on their phones all the time for work, for all the things. And it's hard for them to actually focus on their partner in that moment.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts or words about bids for connection?
No,
Make
I
it a
think
game. Make it a game, right? Just like how many times can you do it in a day, right? And just try it out. And
I
then
like
both of you can then you can get funny about it. You can get maybe a little sexy about it. You can do
Make it
however, right?
big, big
Yeah,
bids.
yeah,
Grabbing
yeah,
some bodies consensually,
right,
grabbing some parts,
right.
right? Doing some things, cracking some jokes, right?
yeah.
Well,
So
thank
just
you so
all
much.
of that, all of that.
100%. Thank you both so much for your time today. It's always a pleasure
Yeah,
getting to
good
talk
to
to
see
you
you
both.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.